You check your phone. No new messages. You check it again 10 minutes later, like something might have changed. Nothing has. That small ache in your chest, the one that makes you want to text someone, anyone, just to feel less alone, isn't weakness. The real answer to what it actually is, far stranger than you think. For most of the 20th century, scientists treated loneliness like a mood, something soft, something you could shake off with a hobby or a pep talk. But over the last 20 years, that idea has completely fallen apart. Loneliness isn't a mood. It's an alarm. Think about hunger for a second. Hunger doesn't feel like a suggestion. It doesn't whisper. It builds and builds until you can't ignore it because your body needs you to eat to survive. Loneliness works the same way. It builds, it gnaws, and according to decades of research, it evolved for the exact same reason hunger did. Your ancestors did not survive alone. A human being on their own, tens of thousands of years ago, was not an independent spirit. It was prey. No claws, no fangs, no fur thick enough for a cold night. Slow compared to almost every predator on the savannah. The only real weapon early humans had was each other. A group could watch for danger in every direction. A group could hunt animals 10 times their size. A group could carry an injured member for days instead of leaving them behind. Alone, a human lasted a matter of days in the wrong conditions. Together, a group could last generations. So evolution did something clever. It built a warning system directly into your nervous system, one that fires whenever you drift too far from your tribe. Here's where it gets strange. Researcher John Cacioppo, one of the founding figures in the science of loneliness, spent over a decade studying what happens inside the body when someone feels socially isolated. His findings were startling. Chronic loneliness doesn't just feel bad, it raises cortisol levels, it disrupts sleep, it weakens the immune system in ways that are measurable in blood tests. In one large-scale analysis, Cacioppo and his colleagues found that loneliness increased the risk of early death by a margin comparable to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. 15 cigarettes for a feeling. That number only makes sense if you stop thinking of loneliness as an emotion and start thinking of it as a biological threat signal, exactly like pain, exactly like thirst. Question: if loneliness is a survival tool, why does it feel so bad? Because it's supposed to. Pain isn't a design flaw when you touch a hot stove. It's the entire point. It forces you to pull your hand back before real damage happens. Loneliness is the emotional equivalent. It forces you to reach out, reconnect, rejoin the group before the isolation becomes dangerous. The discomfort isn't the problem. The discomfort is the solution, working exactly as intended. But here's the twist that should genuinely unsettle you. Your alarm system was built for a world of physical tribes, campfires, and shared shelter. It was not built for a world of scrolling. Neuroscientist Naomi Eisenberger ran a series of experiments in the early 2000s using functional MRI scans to study what happens in your brain during social rejection. She found something remarkable. The same brain region that lights up when you stub your toe, the anterior cingulate cortex, also lights up when you're excluded from a group, even a trivial one, like a simple ball-tossing game on a computer with strangers you'll never meet. Your brain does not clearly distinguish between physical pain and social pain. To your ancient nervous system, being excluded from the group and being physically wounded register as dangerously similar events, which means every time you're left on red, every time a group chat goes quiet, every time you scroll through a feed of people at parties you weren't invited to, some ancient part of your brain is sounding the same alarm your ancestors felt when they realized the tribe had wandered off without them. Modern life has made this worse in a way evolution never anticipated. You can now be surrounded by hundreds of digital connections and still feel profoundly alone because your alarm system doesn't measure how many contacts are in your phone. It measures something else entirely, something researchers call perceived social isolation. It's not about how many people are around you. It's about whether you feel truly seen by any of them. This explains something strange that researchers have puzzled over for years. Why can someone feel lonelier in a crowded city, surrounded by millions of people, than someone living alone in a quiet cabin who talks to 2 or 3 close friends a week? Because your nervous system isn't counting people. It's counting bonds, and 100 shallow interactions do not register the same way as one person who actually knows you. So what do you do with an alarm system built for the savannah, now going off in a world of open-plan offices, algorithmic feeds, and text messages that arrive without tone or warmth? You don't silence it. You answer it the way it was designed to be answered, not with more scrolling, but with the thing your ancestors always turned to: actual presence. A conversation with eye contact, a shared meal, a hand on a shoulder. These aren't outdated rituals. They're the precise signals your nervous system is built to recognize as safety. Here's the reframe worth sitting with. The next time that ache shows up, the one that makes you want to check your phone for the 5th time in an hour, try not to see it as a personal failing, some sign that something is wrong with you specifically. See it for what hundreds of thousands of years of evolution built it to be. Not weakness, not fragility, a signal. The same signal that once told your ancestors it was time to walk back toward the fire. You check your phone, no new messages. This time, you understand something your ancestors would have understood instantly. That ache isn't in your head. It's in your blood, in your nervous system, in a survival mechanism thousands of centuries old, quietly doing exactly what it was built to do, telling you to go find your people.